Now from the CFJC newsroom, here is Bill O'Donovan.
Good evening. The Prime Minister is in Kamloops tonight, his second visit to the city this year following a town hall in January at Thompson Rivers University. Justin Trudeau is already in campaign mode as the Liberals try to shake off scandals and win re-election in October. And tonight he will be officially declaring Terry Lake as the Liberal candidate in the Kamloops-Thompson-Caribou riding. Chad Klassen is live outside City Hall for us tonight, where the Prime Minister is meeting with the city's emergency management team. Chad, can you tell us more about what they're discussing indoors?
Good evening. Oh yeah, local dignitaries and provincial dignitaries, as well as some cabinet ministers within the Trudeau government, talking about wildfires, certainly the potential for wildfires coming up this summer. Justin Trudeau in that meeting, which is still going on behind me at City Hall, talked about the lessons learned from the 2017 wildfire season. Ken Christian, the mayor of Kamloops, also in that meeting, talked about a wildfire recently in the Dallas-Barnhartville area, speaking to the fact that certainly wildfire is imminent in the area.
Chad joins us now with our look at sports.
Bill, what did we do with ourselves today? No hockey on TV, although there was basketball and baseball on that. But yeah, first time in, I think, 10 days that we didn't have hockey all day. It's kind of weird.
We'll wait for that tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. First round. I guess the actual playoffs begin tomorrow. I don't know. Well, I'm still confused whether we just came from the playoffs or not. Nonetheless, yeah, we'll look ahead, but we'll also look back, talk to a Kamloops native from the Columbus Blue Jackets who reflected on one of the wildest series in that qualification round. You'll hear from him. Also, the draft lottery happening today. We now know who will pick number one. That's coming up. In recent weeks, drumming and singing has become commonplace on the steps of the former Kamloops residential school. Since the discovery of 215 unmarked graves last month, groups and individuals from far and wide have paid their respects. On Monday, Indigenous Peoples Day in Canada, several people from bands around the southern interior came to gather.
We've seen all the other celebrations, and our elders have been cooped up for a while, for about 1.5 years with COVID, and they finally felt safe enough. All of them are vaccinated, and they were ready for a trip. And today was a day to show resilience for Indigenous people, to show that we still have our songs, we still have our language, still have our culture.
Each Interior First Nations band had about an hour to spend at the memorial, and for many, including residential school survivors, they were seeing each other for the first time. They also visited the memorial for the first time.
This is ground zero for residential school, the truth telling of what really actually happened. Our people have been saying this forever. They've been telling this story for a long time, but people would never believe them, just simply because of our identity as Indigenous people. So now this is, they can no longer hide the truth.
It's an emotional sight for survivors like John Jones, who attended a residential school on Vancouver Island and has horrific memories of friends being taken away.
There were a few times that the supervisors got children ready, and I ran to the window and nobody came to pick them up. They just disappeared. I didn't get to grieve for my friends that just disappeared.
Jones now works for the Indian Residential School Survivor Society. It's healing for him and helping others as well. Gatherings like the one on Monday also aid in moving forward.
When we come together, it's for a reason. And that's how we stand. We stand together as First Nations people, Kwamok, people of this land. And I really believe that when we come together, we grow stronger.
Chad Klassen, CFJC News.
Hey Jesse, I love you with all my heart. I also love you with all my heart too.
Every day, Susan Simpson is so grateful to still be able to hug and kiss her 21-year-old son, Jesse. She embraces him every opportunity she can.
It's absolutely a miracle that he's here with us after what's happened to him. To be able to come see him every day is absolutely amazing with how far he has came. That made me 400 times happier.
During their tragic 2.5-year journey, Susan says that Jesse has nearly died on multiple occasions. But she notes her little boy is a fighter. He was in a coma for 10 months and awoke from that, spent nearly 2 years at Royal Inland Hospital before coming to the care facility in April. She says the scariest thing is the unknown.
I think every day not knowing whether he'd be here with us or not. Not knowing one day to the next, seeing him so sick, seeing so many awful things through the last 2.5 years.
The dad said, "Hurry up and open it." Come on.
Susan and the healthcare professionals working with Jesse have seen tremendous steps in his progress since moving to the care facility 7 months ago. However, they say he'll never return to his former self, a young, vibrant boy who loved life.
Every day you wake up and think, this happened to my son. How could this happen? You have to deal with it. You have to be strong for your child. And every day it's just like, why? Why me? Why did this happen to us?
He's a shadow of his old self, but he's working every day on improving, reading during rehabilitation sessions that are reteaching him the basics of life.
Can you say that more clearly?
It is sometimes a struggle to get the words out, but eventually he does master them.
I was in my room hiding from my homework.
Good.
I guess it's kind of like when he was little, things coming back slowly, a little bit at a time. It's also hard seeing what he's lost.
What's my finger on? Brush teeth. You gotta brush.
He'll never walk, but he's learning other motor skills as basic as brushing his teeth.
Good, and the front ones? Good.
Susan has accepted that her Jesse will never be Jesse again, but she acknowledges that it's him that has helped her moving forward.
I think the strength of Jesse kept me going all through. It has. I know that my son is the strongest, most amazing person than anyone. He shouldn't be here with us right now. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy on clouds of gray.
You can tell how much Jesse loves his mom and what she has done for him and what she'll do for him the rest of his life.
You amaze me every day.
From expenses without itemized receipts to purchases for friends and family, and even accepting vacations from a TNRD contractor, former CAO Sue Gill seemingly did it all. That according to an audit conducted by BDO Canada. In the full audit released Monday by the Regional District, it details the more than $750,000 of expenses from Gill, including an instance at Nandy's Flavors of India where Gill increased the bill from $12,000 to $20,000 with no explanation.
There were quite a few things that stood out to me, not in a good way either. I think one of the things that really surprised me was the lack of itemization on receipt. I'm not an accountant, but just seeing that something as simple as that appears not to have been done was very, very frightening.
Once the children arrived at the school, many say the abuse was rampant, so much so that in 1902, 3 children ran away from St. Joseph's. One of them died. Years later, 9 children poisoned themselves in an attempt to commit suicide. A boy named Augustine Allen died. Allen's granddaughter is Bellew, who later attended St. Joseph's for 4 years in the 1960s. She and her 4 siblings were sent to the residential school after her father died when she was 6.
They didn't think my mom could look after 5 children. So we had to go to residential school. And again, the loss of language, culture.
It decided that this is the direction that it wanted to go.
After a visit from Emergency Preparedness Minister Mike Farnworth in December, the City of Merritt hoped some more immediate financial assistance would be coming to help the recovery efforts. However, the city is still waiting for provincial money to build alternative housing for the nearly 1,000 residents without a home.
Part of our ask is part of the billions of dollars the federal government gave.
The alert system was not available during the Kamloops East fire last year in Juniper, motivating the city to fast-track the process of implementing such an emergency alert. However, the city says the alert system won't replace any current emergency strategies like tactical evacuations by the RCMP. It will simply ensure residents are updated with the latest information, including evacuation alerts or orders in your neighborhood.
By the time we are able to send an alert through Voyant, RCMP would already be knocking on doors and getting people out of their homes.
Chad Klassen joins us now to talk a little more about that weekend. And Chad, that's now 18 straight wins over the Royals, who have now lost 14 in a row.
Yeah, it's been a real struggle for the Royals, and the Blazers thankfully have feasted on that. Out of those 14 losses in a row for the Royals, the Blazers have won 4 of those, including 2 wins this weekend. They've outscored the Royals in those 4 wins 25-9.
CFJC presents Kamloops Blazers Highlights. Brought to you by Service Plus Plumbing and Heating. Service with compassion.
The Blazers facing the Giants in Langley Friday night, and they give up a rare first goal. Vancouver opens the scoring, and it's Jacob Boucher, a key piece in that Justin Sourdif trade with Edmonton. He scores in his Giants debut, 1-0 for the home side. However, before the end of the first, the Blazers respond with 2 of their own. First, it's Matthew Seminoff. He gets his 17th of the year from Fraser Minton, a lucky deflection, and we're tied at 1. Then Logan Stankoven with his 24th. He rips home a pass from Luke Toporowski, 2-1 Blazers after the first. Minutes into the second, though, the Giants tie it. The Blazers are on the power play, but it doesn't stop Zacho's stop check from scoring 2-2. It stays deuces apiece until midway through the third, and it's Minton with the game winner. Great work by Seminoff to get it out in front for him, his 12th of the year. 3-2 Blazers for their 7th win in a row and 4th against Vancouver.